All right, everybody. So everybody deserves to know what happened with Maya, and I've been holding off. I held off at first because I didn't know what was going on with her. I didn't know, you know, and so much can go wrong when people get injured that I was kind of like I didn't want to jinx what was going on. So, and I wasn't. I didn't want to talk about it because I was scared. And so, anyways, what happened was on January 27th, if you go back to the Facebook feed, you'll see January 27th, Maya, Kema, Dia, Yuti, and Thea were with me when we went to the carnival, and we had a great time in the carnival. We took a tuk-tuk there. I've been doing a lot more tuk-tuk drives because when I have all the kids, it's safer, and I'm just getting used to doing tuk-tuks. I'm very cognizant of how dangerous the motorcycle is. That's not what happened here, though. Watch this all the way through. But what happened was when we were done at the carnival, we called a tuk-tuk, and we took a tuk-tuk to the ferry. The carnival is on the other side of the Mekong River. So we decided to have some fun and take the ferry back across to our side. So we took a tuk-tuk to the ferry, and we took the ferry across the Mekong River. And when we got to the other side, we then called for another tuk-tuk, and we were going to take that tuk-tuk home. Well, when you get off on the ferry on the other side, it was like 9:30 at night, which is kind of late out here, getting a little bit late. And so we got off the ferry. We called for a tuk-tuk with Grab. They have Grab, which is like Uber out here. And as we were walking up the road, just a normal road. The side of the road was just a normal 8-foot grass area going up the side, and I know I'm like very paranoid about stuff out here. I'm always like on Maya's case about stuff. Hey, come over here! Don't touch that! Don't pick up anything on the ground. She got sick a lot when she was younger because the street kids they touch everything on the ground, and they touch their mouths, and they get sick. And so I'm always on her case about stuff. And I knew that grass area wasn't good because I could see that there was pieces of trash and stuff in there that I didn't know what it was. And she had walked into that grass area, and she had picked something up off the ground, and that was it. I was like, Maya, put that down. I go, yucky, yucky, dirty, dirty. You go hospital. You don't touch. And so she threw it down, and I was walking with all the kids. The next thing you know, she's up on that grass area again, and before I could even say, get off of there, she stumbled into a pile of coals that somebody had dumped there. They have these street food vendors that cook hot dogs and different meats on a little tiny grill, and they chicken whatever. And oh my God, dude! At the end of the day, I'm so pissed off right now, man. We don't have the safety stuff and the things that would not happen in America. Most Cambodians, I've been watching since this happened, and I've noticed that in most areas, most Cambodians are cognizant of the burn factor of throwing something like that out in the public. And so whoever dumped their coals there, they were probably cooking right there at that spot, and then at the end of the day they just dumped their coals and left because they were lazy. Most Cambodians don't do that. but some of course will, you know. So anyways, Maya was on the grass before I could even like say anything. She hit the coals, and as soon as she hit it, she fell down into the coals, and it just burnt her from her feet all the way up to her butt. And I just grabbed her and knocked all the fire off of her and lifted her up. And I was in shock. And I went straight home on the motorbike. UT went to the hospital with me. I got her in the hospital, and I didn't know how bad it was, you know. And you know, I know how dangerous burns are, and I know the infection risk from burns is pretty high, and it's very dangerous if you get an infection. So I was really worried. I was pretty much in shock for 2 days, and then I just went through all the emotions, and I'm still worried, but she's past the most dangerous part. The hospital stay was 14 days long. They wanted to keep her longer than that, but I stayed in the hospital. Near the end, I couldn't. I was having a hard time getting people to help me out. And Maya needed very specific care. Her diaper had to be changed like immediately. She couldn't be sitting there with a dirty diaper, because if the poop got into the wounds, it could really cause her problems. And whoever was watching her had to really watch her all the time, because she was scratching her wounds, and she was causing problems with them because of that. So when I'm there, I'm like on her the whole time, and I'm telling her, you scratch your wound, Maya, you go doctor. And if I say that, she starts crying because she's terrified of the doctors. But I'm on her all the time. And so in the end, it was just me there, like almost all the time. And I had to tell the hospital, look, I have to go home. I'm going to lose my mind. And I think I'm okay to watch her. And so that was a couple days ago. Tomorrow I go back to the hospital. I beg them to let me bring her back to have them change her wounds, because one of her legs is still wide open. There's no skin growing on it. It's a 3rd-degree burn. And so it's still high risk. You have to watch her. She's got no fever. She's got no infection. She's got no swelling in her foot. It did swell just from the burn at first, but that started to come down. It's just not healing the skin yet. It's not sealing. So anyways, my God, she's strong, you know. The doctor said she's a strong little girl, and she is strong. And
how did this food get here? Max must have done this. Max, why did you give your food to the puppy?
She's a cool kid, man. She's doing good. We're down here right now at the park. I wanted to get her. Another reason why I wanted to get her out of the hospital is because, like in the middle of those 14 days, there was days where she just didn't want to eat. You know, I had to like get tough myself and just like, you know, force her to eat because she was losing weight, and I was starting to get really worried. And so I got her. I would feed her every 2 hours. I'd make her eat. I would have her eat chicken, and I'd have her eat rice, and then she started, every time she would eat, she would feel really good, and she would become really lively. So I knew I was on the right track, you know, it was working. And then finally we started getting through that, and she started, you know, gaining some weight back, and that's when, you know, I was like, okay, it's been 14 days here, I got to get out of here, I'm going to lose my mind. Lose my body and my mind. And So my little baby girl, she's right here. We're at the park, and I've got all the other kids. I've got Beauty and Thea, and oh, there's Kima and Thea, and Maya is just having a blast. She loves being around her friends. So hi Kima, say hi.
Hi.
So this is really good therapy for Maya. Her spirits are up, and thank you guys for all the prayers. We still need them because she's not healed yet. So please keep praying for her, and I thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.